Guys, let's start this video off hot. I want your brutally honest opinion on Ben Simmons down in the comments below. I'll give you my, maybe not brutally honest opinion, but my opinion on the Simmons situation right now before we even get into everything. And my opinion on this situation is that I really just don't know what to think anymore. Because when the Philadelphia 76ers got eliminated, I was firmly on the train that Ben Simmons kind of just needed a coach that would push him. He just needed to be held accountable. The thing is, when you're in the NBA, when you're making millions of dollars, when you're competing to be one of the best players, one of the best teams in the league, you don't need guys to hold you accountable. I think you should be able to hold yourself accountable, but of course that has not been the case for Ben Simmons. Let me actually be brutally honest. The Philadelphia 76ers exit from the NBA playoffs was sad. Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks did their thing, but in no way should the Philadelphia 76ers have lost to the Atlanta Hawks. I love Trae Young, but he's one of the worst defenders in the NBA. The 76ers have the personnel to play big. They have the personnel to play very big. Look at their center, Joel Embiid. Dude is a giant. More importantly, look at their point guard, Ben Simmons. Dude is a legit 6'10" talent. If I'm Doc Rivers, if I'm Ben Simmons, if I'm the Philadelphia 76ers, I'm attacking Trae Young for 48 straight minutes until Trae Young doesn't want to play anymore. I love Trae, but the dude really can't defend. But I will give Trae this: you don't have to be a good defender. Sometimes you just have to try. Imagine being Joel Embiid, risking your career, playing hurt for Ben Simmons and the Philadelphia 76ers to launch you. I really wonder how Embiid feels about this whole Simmons situation. We've seen some of Simmons' teammates talk about the whole Simmons thing, but we haven't really heard much from Joel Embiid. In the past, Joel Embiid has publicly talked about his frustration of not having enough spacing and teammates passing up shots. At one point, people were begging Embiid to post up more and take less threes. Embiid responded to the criticism with saying that sometimes I have to shoot threes. Sometimes I have to create my own spacing. We all know Ben Simmons with the right jump shot and confidence would be a beast. But the thing is, if he hasn't gotten that jump shot, if he hasn't shown that confidence yet, will he ever show it? Any team that's willing to trade for Ben has to accept the risk that he may never develop a jump shot, the risk that the Ben Simmons we see now is the Ben Simmons that you're going to get for the future. This has kind of created a rift between what teams want for Ben Simmons and what Daryl Morey is willing to trade Ben Simmons for. Almost a month ago, it was reported that the Sixers were fielding offers for Ben Simmons, but they continued to hold a stance that they will only trade Ben Simmons for an all-star caliber player. They turned down a deal with the Pacers that included Malcolm Brogdon and a first-round pick. Guys, Malcolm Brogdon is a really good basketball player. The guy knows how to win, he defends, and possibly more importantly, he knows how to shoot. He shot 39% from the three-point line last season, and he averaged 21.2 points per game. If you are the Philadelphia 76ers, is this an offer that you would have accepted for Ben Simmons? Do you feel like this is fair value for Ben Simmons? Or do you end up looking for more? While I do think this was a great offer for Ben Simmons, I can't get mad at Morey for trying to get more. Brogdon averaged 21 points per game last season. I can't be mad at the 76ers for trying to get more, but man, that was a solid offer. As we move more towards the present, the 76ers and Raptors have had ongoing talks about a Ben Simmons trade. Just this past week, a report dropped that the 76ers proposed a trade that included Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, and the 4th overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft. For Ben Simmons, this trade would ultimately get rejected by the Raptors, but wow, are the Philadelphia 76ers going for it all? If you ask me, the 76ers with Kyle Lowry probably beat the Atlanta Hawks. There's a chance that this team makes the NBA Finals. If you were Philly, would you have traded for Kyle Lowry during the season? even if it meant losing Thibault, Maxey, or some possible assets. Okay, anyways, the 76ers want a lot for Ben. Don't get me wrong, man. Ben is a beast, but they are asking for an awful lot. If you guys are still confused about the 76ers asking price for Ben Simmons, check out this clip.
They're asking for a lot, almost a Harden-esque type package of all-star player, draft picks, pick swaps. Now, that's where you're going to start. They're motivated to find a deal out there.
Woj says they're asking for almost a Harden-esque type of package that includes an all-star player, draft picks, and pick swaps. All this for Ben Simmons? Guys, do you think Ben Simmons is worth everything that I just named? Woj also said that the Sixers continue to canvass the league for Ben Simmons trades. Armed with a steep asking price, Simmons and his agent, Clutch CEO Rich Paul, are in step with a move elsewhere. You add that with the fact that Doc Rivers said he doesn't know if Ben Simmons can be a point guard for a championship team, along with the fact that reportedly the Philadelphia 76ers haven't really been able to get in touch with Ben since the season ended to construct a plan to enhance Ben's development. And yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I think Ben Simmons is as good as gone. But of course, there's this chance that if the asking price remains that steep for Ben Simmons, maybe they don't trade him. Steve Kyler on Twitter proposed an interesting scenario. Quote, a couple of Ben Simmons thoughts. First, if you have 4 draft picks, what are the odds any of them become 6'10" All-Stars? If you currently do not have an All-Star, 4 picks is not crazy to get an all-star. I think he has a small point because there are times where teams definitely overvalue draft picks, and if you can get a player that's a game changer, you should go out and get that player. That's one of the many reasons I respect Daryl Morey. He's never been afraid to go all in. I've said this time and time again. Look at the roster changes that occurred in Houston when they were building around James Harden. If something didn't work out, it was like Daryl Morey already had a backup plan lined up. Anyways, to be short, I'd rather the picks. I'd rather try to draft an all-star and use those 3 other picks to try to draft decent role players to put around that star, or possibly another all-star. I know I'm giving off mad mystery box from Family Guy vibes, but if you don't already have a star, you're not a desirable destination, and you don't have any picks, say Ben does become this game-changing talent. How are you supposed to surround him with more talent? Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Reportedly, the 76ers wanted 4 first-round draft picks, 3 pick swaps, and a young player from the Spurs in exchange for Ben Simmons. While that's an easy no for me, I'm going to give it to Philly. At least they're trying. There are so many bad GMs in the NBA. I think there's actually a decent shot that Daryl Morey finds a trade that he's looking for. You guys remember the Buddy Hield trade, where the Kings owner literally thought Buddy Hield was the second coming of Stephen Curry, so they traded a prime DeMarcus Cousins for Buddy Hield? My Pelicans had next, man. It's not fair. Now here's where things get really fun. Reportedly, Ben Simmons will be on the move. One source close to the situation handicapped Miami, Toronto, and Washington as the most likely landing spots for Ben Simmons. There's a chance that all Ben Simmons needs is a change of scenery and a coach that is going to push him. Toronto has a ton of assets. They are one of the best development teams in the NBA. If the Raptors got their hands on Ben Simmons, that could be filthy because Toronto has so many assets that they'd still have assets and talent left over to help build around Ben if they got a reasonable offer. I also really like the idea of Bradley Beal going to the Philadelphia 76ers teaming up with Joel Embiid because that type of shooting and scoring alongside Embiid could be really dangerous. On top of that, Ben Simmons in Washington with a young core could be a lot of fun. Now, of course, Beal would have to want out and Russell Westbrook would have to be gone. Russell Westbrook getting traded would only add to the amount of assets that the Washington Wizards would have to jumpstart their rebuild. Let me know what you guys think about everything down in the comments below. All things considered, I do think Ben is a giant scapegoat. Let me know if you guys think Ben could reach his potential still. Let me know what you would be willing to trade for your team to get Ben Simmons. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm Get Like Coop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.